Kanu returns to DSS custody after check-up by personal doctors. Nnamdi Kanu has returned to DSS custody after the check-up by his personal doctors. We welcome you all to this wonderful channel. We bring you updates happening in and around the country. If this is your first time viewing our TV channel, do well to subscribe. Turn on the notification button to keep you updated whenever we drop our videos. Be sure to like, comment, and of course share the video to your friends and your family members for active involvement. Without wasting much of your time, we move forward to doing what we know how to do best. On our screen, we have this headline: Kanu returns to DSS custody after check-up by personal doctors. Okay, before we get to the detail of this news, remember, if you've been following our videos lately, you realize that we had a video where we dropped regarding to the fact that the federal government, DSS, refused to release Nnamdi Kanu, refused to grant him the bail to see his doctor, or grant him the right, the privilege to see his doctor, even after the court has ordered the DSS to grant him the right to see his doctor. So just recently, Kanu has been granted the rights. Kanu has been granted the privilege to visit his doctor. Therefore, let's get to the detail of this news. The leader of the separatist indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, was on Sunday returned to the custody of the Department of State Services after being released on Saturday to be attended by his personal physician. The Federal High Court in Abuja on July 20th ordered the DSS to grant Kanu access to his personal physicians, dismissing the DSS objection to the prayer. According to IPOB, Kanu is suspected to be suffering from an ear infection and needs surgery. Counsel for the IPOB leader, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, told our correspondent in a phone conversation on Sunday that Kanu, who has been in detention since 2021, had access to his personal physicians and had taken back to the custody. Ejiofor said he has been attended to, and after preliminary examinations he was taken back. The lawyer, however, declined further comment on his health conditions, among others. Ejiofor had tweeted on Saturday that Kanu met with his personal doctors in a hospital in Abuja outside the facility of the DSS. Ejiofor, who said he witnessed the medical examination, described it as seamless and productive. He said, sequel to our avowed assurance to always keep Ezigbo Umu Chineke abreast of pertinent happenings, especially with Onyendo's health status, welfare, and updates on his legal matters. We are pleased to inform you that Onyendo Nnamdi Kanu met his choice personal physician yesterday in a hospital in Abuja outside the facility of the State Security Service. As part of the protocol, I witnessed the consultation. The medical examination was seamless and productive, and he will be progressing to the next stage soon. I think this is where we get to the end of the news. So let's bring it home. Kanu has been in detention for so long, and yet the government has refused to release him or call for a negotiation with Nnamdi Kanu. And now this man has been in detention, suffering from ear problem, just as ear infection, just as the news has stated. And yet they are just granting him access to his personal physician just few days ago. Just to his personal physician just few days ago. Now, what if something happens to Kanu? How do you think the IPOB are going to react? I think the federal government are playing with fire. I think they are toiling with fire at a situation like this, because no matter what happens, if Nnamdi Kanu should have any issue or complicated issue, the federal government will not sit well with them and the IPOB. I think that is how that is from my own perspective. It is not going to sit well with them, and the IPOB. And again, let's look at the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had to return back to DSS after being released, or after being granted bail, to visit his personal physician, his personal doctor. He had to return back, just as a gentleman he was, as a gentleman he is rather. He had to return back. So far, Tinubu has not said anything on this matter. I don't know what he is waiting for, because according to his manifestos, holding him with his manifestos and holding him with what he promised to do, he says he's going to have a negotiation with the agitators once he assumed power. And I think this is over 2 months or 3 months he assumed power, and yet nothing has been done. He has not done anything regarding to what he stated before, pre his assumption to power. So I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Is Tinubu really going to deviate from his promises of negotiating with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Because looking at this thing, I think Mazen Nnamdi Kanu should be released. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu should be set free, because it's not worth staying in that prison. It's not worth staying in detention. For goodness sake, these people are not terrorists. So I don't know why they keep on detaining Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, Nigeria is my country. Nigeria is a country where the right people suffer, why those who are really giving trouble to the government are left to roam about like a fowl, like a hen, like a chicken without an owner. I think that is what I would say, and that is where I will drop it here. So quickly go to the comment section and drop your comments regarding to this headline. But remember, Imoko TV, if you've not subscribed, do well to subscribe. Quickly, we go to the next on our screen, as we do not have time on our side. Only God can remove Tinubu as president. This is coming from APC Group. Wow. Only God can remove Tinubu as president. What an affirmation! What I believe. What courage! Okay, let's get to the detail of this news. A support group in the All Progressive Congress, the Confederation of um, all Progressive Congress support groups, on Sunday said only God can unseat President Bola Tinubu as Nigeria's president. The group said in a press conference in Kaduna. The press briefing was organized in response to the criticism of the last presidential election by the Catholic Archbishop Emeritus of Abuja, His Eminence Cardinal John Onayekon. Director General of the group, Muhammad Kialani, noted that Oyanekon was reported to have said that President Tinubu is not yet Nigeria's president until the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal says so. For this, Kailani demanded the arrest of the cleric, wondering why Onayekon, who should be preaching love and peace, suddenly turned to an agent to destabilize his dear country, Nigeria. Kailani called on Nigerians to ignore the Christian leaders. I think I will take it here before we continue with the news. Someone had this view. Someone gave his opinion, his view. Remember, we have freedom of speech. But in Nigeria, I think our freedom of speech is being subjected to, we are being subjected to our leaders when it comes to speech. This is the only country where you need to mind the way you talk. Even though you're saying the right thing, you just have to keep it low to avoid matters arising. Wow, Nigeria, such a wonderful country. Kudos to my country. We are doing well. We are doing well. Okay. Someone, in fact, at first, it is very bad to swear in someone, to swear a governor, a president, to bring in a president to power when there is still a matter in the petition tribunal, when there is still a matter in the tribunal concerning the election, and then you sworn in the president. What if Peter Obi wins this election? What if Peter Obi wins this case in the court? What is your affirmation? What is your reason? How do you believe? Like, I don't know. Most times I wonder if the way we think is the way other persons think, or if there is a different place where we think from except from our head. Because I seriously, I truly wonder. I wonder. I'm not siding anyone here, no. But I'm thinking that we have different places where we think. Maybe some persons think in their head and some persons think in their anus. Exactly. Because you cannot tell me. I do believe that God is the utmost power. I do believe that God is the ultimate, but I still believe that God has delegated power to man. Yes, he cannot do everything. It is the authority he has given to man that man uses to make changes. So I don't think in a situation like this where probably the election was rigged, just as the citizens have said, probably the election was not done fairly, and then you are bringing God into it. No, respect God, please. I think this is where we should reverence God and stop bringing God into what we know is not clean, purely done. I'm not saying so, but that is what the citizens are saying. um, and again, calling for the arrest of the cleric, all because he aired his view that Tinubu is not yet the president until the election petition tribunal says so. I don't see the reason why you should arrest someone who just gave his view. No matter, even though he's a pastor, doesn't mean he doesn't have to say in the election of his country, in the government, in the politics of his country. No, everyone has rights. I mean, all rights are equal. So I don't think this is necessary. Let's continue with the news. He said, "We woke up today and we saw on social media that those who are supposed to bring unity in diversity in this country are the ones trying to bring war. They are the ones trying to bring crisis. We don't expect Archbishop John Onaiyekan to say that Tinubu is not yet Nigeria's president. He said the election is not yet over and that we don't have a president until the court says so. But that is the fact. No two ways about it. Nigeria, I think that most citizens believes that fact. Most citizens believes that ideology, and you cannot change that mentality. You cannot change their behavior and their attitude. That is just it. I'm coming from the perspective that in as much as far as there is a case in the court concerning the just concluded election, a president should not have been sworn in, because in a matter like this there is fear of the unknown. We don't know who is going to win this case. We don't know. We don't know if it is Atiku. We don't know if it is P2B. We don't know if it is still Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We don't know if it is Kwankwaso. We don't know. We don't know who exactly is going to win this case. We don't just know how fate is going to do it. Therefore, you can't just bring in someone and declare him president overnight. I don't understand. The citizens, are they not among the people who elect the president? Is it just the Senate? We have our rights. Therefore, our rights should be exercised and should not be kept in a bag and sealed. Saying we don't expect him. Okay. You say Tinubu Archbishop is the Archbishop, kinds of Archbishop Archbishop Oyanekon John are expected to be bringing unity in diversity. Then what of the political party? What are they expected to bring? Confusion. Are they expected to bring a town hall different from Bulabla? Balablu. Let's finish this news, please. We the Confederation of All Progressive APC Support Group nationwide condemn this in totality. We are not happy. Nigerians are not happy. I beg, Daddy. He stated that Nigerians are not happy, and I think this is where he should speak for himself. He should not speak for the Nigerians. I mean, you don't know what is in the minds of the citizen. You can only read the minds of the citizen through their reaction on a particular post or news. Yes, just as I'm going to know the minds of the public after this news, because they'll be dropping their comments at the comment section. Exactly. So you cannot speak for the citizen. And with so far all what I've seen, the news we've been hearing and the news we've been seeing online so far shows that the citizens are not in alliance. The citizens are not. The citizens do not tally with the Bola-led administration. I'm sorry, but the citizens are not in alliance with this administration. Reasons personally known to them. I'm not saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not trying. No, he's doing his best. He's trying to make sure he brings unity. He's trying to make sure he He brings inclusivity, inclusion. He's trying to make sure that he makes everyone participate in the political affairs of their country. But there is still but you cannot make everyone to love you. You just have to do the one you have to do and leave the rest for God or Allah, and that settles it. Let's finish it up immediately. We thought this man is a Yoruba man and our president Ahmed Bola Tinubu is a Yoruba man, but he's castigating him. Now this is it. Because the man is a Yoruba man and he shouldn't say the truth. Now what of the Igbo people who are speaking for Tinubu? Yes, and leaving Peter Obi. So what of them? Are we now going with tribalism? Are we now going by tribalism? Are we now going by my brother, my brother? If that is the case, therefore most of these persons campaigning for Tinubu are Igbos. So they should also come back to Peter Obi. And as well, there are some still campaigning for Peter Obi who are Yoruba. They should also move back to Tinubu. And there are some persons also campaigning for Atiku who are both Igbo and Yoruba. So they should just go back to themselves. So what are we trying to say? I think it's just best for this Biafra to come, let everybody rest, because Nigeria, we don't even know what we want. During the election, more than 80% of the Yorubas didn't vote for him, even the Afenifere. The likes of Pastor Tunde Bakare, Chief Bode, George, and the rest of them. They said they don't want him. We brought this president. Nobody can remove him. Only God can remove him. We have voted. We have voted. Nigeria has spoken on the 25th of February 2023. We are calling on Nigerians not to support this move. Finally, we are calling Archbishop John Oyenako to come and join us in politics. Let him leave the pulpit there. He should join us to see how we play politics in this country, but not in his house, where he's being comfortable and where people are using him to destabilize us. We will not take it lightly. We are watching. Imagine making caricature of a man of God, all because he had a view which to him was the fact. I think there is something we need to go for enlightenment course in Nigeria. We need to go for enlightenment course in Nigeria. Okay, I think this is where we are bringing it right now before we go to the last news on our screen. So quickly, drop your comments at the comment section. Tell us what you think regarding to this video. Tell us what you have in mind concerning this headline. And then quickly, the last headline on our screen before we call it off. Ohaneze begs Governor Mba to end sit at home in Enugu. Ohaneze begs Governor Mba to end sit at home in Enugu. Quickly, let's get to the detail of the news. The Enugu State chapter of the Igbo Apes socio-cultural organization Ohaneze Ndibo Worldwide on Sunday declared its end of a sit-at-home protest in the southeast in general and the Enugu State in particular. The state chapter of Igbo socio-cultural group said it was fully backing the Enugu State government in its effort to end the sit-at-home in the state, insisting that the protest had outlived its usefulness. The Punch reports that a factional leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra, led by a Finland-based pro-Biafran agitator Simon Ekpa, who styled himself as the Biafran Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in Exile, has been enforcing Monday sit-at-home, which the main IPOB group led by Chika Edoziem has since cancelled. The factional group had insisted on the sit-at-home as a way of calling for the release of their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, who is being detained by the Department of State Services since June 2021. But Ohaneze, in a statement on Sunday signed by its Enugu president, Professor Fred Eze, applauded the courage of the state governor Peter Mba in taking the bold step to put an end to the scourge of sit at home in Enugu State. I think let's get this before we continue. Just in the last news and in the last analysis,
We saw the APC group leaders stating the fact that Archbishop John Oyinekan did not support Tinubu even though he is Yoruba. And now, what do we say concerning these Igbo politicians? These Igbo politicians, who are Igbos, and now they are seeing their brother Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu trying to seek for Biafra, trying to seek for freedom, knowing full well that even though Biafra should come, they still have a place in the political aspect. They still have a chance. They still have a place in the running affair of the country. And now they seize this kind of thing. Instead of to put efforts together to make sure Biafra comes, or to put effort together to make sure Nnamdi Kanu is released, or to make sure they back up Simon Ekpa constructively, they decided to do it the other way around. Now, ganging up against Simon Ekpa, or will I call it rebelliously going against Simon Ekpa? So what, in a matter like this, how do we address this issue? I am not Imokobi TV do not support siding for anybody, but what we do is in as much as we break news down, we use wisdom, we deploy wisdom to break down this news. We see it from all perspectives, how it is to the human and how it is to God. What do you think? Is this not betrayal? Let's get to the detail. Let's finish the remaining body of the news. Ohaneze recalls that before the cancellation by the government, Enugu State was overwhelmed by a climate of fear such that people could not go about their normal business with confidence. In Enugu State, every Monday become an unofficial holiday as businesses and other social activities usually come to a halt. Thus, the continued observance of the sit-at-home order had a significant negative impact on the economy of Enugu State. Businesses were rapidly closing down while others were relocating away from the state, leading to the loss of foreign direct investment and massive capital flight. Thus, the action by the Enugu State government could not have come at a better time. That Governor Peter Mba also called for the release of Nnamdi Kanu and has triggered steps to get the federal government to release Kanu are indicative that the governor understands the core issues at stake. I think if the governor really, Peter Mba, has called for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, it's fine. I think I will applaud him for that. Just like I said, we do not support any party. We see it from the perspective of all, and then we come to an analysis, a conclusion to the matter, and to analysis, and then the public comes to a conclusion of it. Looking at this, I think Peter Mba, if this is what he has done so far, if he is trying to seek for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, I think I will applaud him in this aspect. You've done a good job, a job done well, sir. We appreciate. But it could still be better if you will stop going against Simon Ekpa. Because looking from this, I think Simon Ekpa is doing this constructively. But it's just the mindset and the way through which we see it as. The mindset, how we see it to be is what it becomes. If we see it as a constructive sit at home, and then if we see it as a peaceful sit at home, we just obey it. It is now left for the federal government and no longer the state government to do something, because it is now affecting everywhere and is affecting the turn up economically. So I think Governor Peter Mba, I appreciate you for trying to seek a release of Nnamdi Kanu, and I pray that God bless you. But it will be more appreciative if you will also back Simon Ekpa up. I think this is all I can say for the people of Biafra. The sit-at-home order is self-immolating and has disrupted all productive assets and resources in the state since its introduction and enforcement. So if the sit-at-home order is affecting the Nigerian government, if it's affecting the state government, then they should go ahead and release Nnamdi Kanu and bring an end to the sit-at-home. Just simple. Release Kanu, negotiate with him, do what he asks you to do, or give him reasons to comply with you. Give him reasons to adhere to your own view. Give him reasons to come to your own perspective. Give him reason to understand, to follow your lead. And if he accepts it and it goes well, the negotiation moves fine. Then the money sit at home goes off. It's just something of, it's wisdom, not power. Everything is not power. You know, this is one thing with us. We think everything is power, but everything is not power. Sometimes wisdom demands you move. Yes. Sometimes wisdom demands you apply intelligence, move with intelligence, move with wisdom to handle some matter, and then let power breathe. I think, okay. I think this is where we are going to bring it to an end. Our next Enugu State chapter expresses happiness that the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has himself categorically ordered the cessation of any form of sit-at-home in whatever guise in the southeast Nigeria. I think this is where we are going to call it an this is where we're going to bring a full stop to the news. The fact is, Simon Ekpa has stated that Martin Nnamdi Kanu has not said anything. He has not dropped anything because he has been in detention. So, and I believe that there is no way someone will take up a mantle without being, without the mantle being given to him. So there is no way Simon Ekpa will be walking without Nnamdi Kanu knowing. So it is as if there is a link, there is a communication, there is an agreement between Martin Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa. Let's see this from the. Do you know a lot of IPOB members are losing a lot because they don't know what this young man Simon Ekpa is doing for them. So I think we're going to bring it here to an end. Just tell us at the comment section what you think regarding this video. Tell us what is your take on this video, and remember our headlines, and remember to drop your news regarding to remember to drop your comments regarding to the headlines that best interest you. And if the theory does interest you, fine, drop your comment. This is Imokobi TV. Subscribe if you've not subscribed. Turn on the notification button to keep you updated whenever we drop our videos. Be sure to like, comment, drop your comment. It is important we know your opinion. We hear from you. Drop your comment at the comment section. And of course, share our videos to your friends and your family members. See you in our next video. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. Imokobi TV loves you so much.